Residential market analysis and highest and best use. Chapter 1, market fundamentals, characteristics and definitions. Page 16, externalities. The principle of externalities takes into consideration the external factors that relate to a given property. External factors can be critical to the overall value of the property. The value of a given property is influenced by factors beyond the actual boundaries of the subject property. These factors may have a positive effect on the value of the property. In many cases, though factors beyond the control of the subject property owner, may have a negative effect on the property's value. External factors can affect local market trends and may also affect the conditions of the economy in general. Changes in the community zoning regulations can have a positive or negative effect on many individual property values. Social services such as professional police and fire protection, well-maintained streets, a library system, a school system providing a variety of scholastic and recreational services for many students, and many other services provided by the community can have a very positive influence on the market area. The reverse can also be true when a community has a smokestack industry and the industry decides to downsize or close. Can also be true when a community has down. It may be that a hazardous condition can come to light and the persons responsible are no longer present within the community. The particular business has ceased to operate, and the community is now faced with the responsibility for a costly cleanup action. In addition, individual property owners may be faced with some sort of environmental contamination stigma because of the perception by the market that their location is not the best place to purchase a property or raise children. Economic instability, decreased production capacity, or company downsizing can impact individual property values. Going beyond the local community, a tightening up of the mortgage market, the raising of long-term interest rates for home ownership or the purchase of investment properties, the over and undersupply of real estate, the absence or abundance of available buyers in a given market, economic recessionary periods or inflationary periods within the market, all relate to the principle of externality. All of these externalities or conditions are well beyond the control of the individual property owner. The principle of externalities is related to the following principles: inclining and declining periods, progression and regression, supply and demand. End of page. Residential market analysis and highest and best use. Chapter 1, market fundamentals, characteristics and definitions. Page 17, 4 agents of production. Real property contains a mix of the 4 agents of production: capital, building, and equipment. Coordination, which means management. Labor, wages, which means wages, and land. If a property is over or under improved, the 4 agents are out of balance. All 4 agents of production must be present in proportionate ratios to create value in real estate development. An out of balance condition usually has a detrimental effect on the land value. Subsequently, the property value is impacted because land is always the last agent of production to be satisfied. Using the example of an existing investment property, if the first 3 agents of production are in balance, the property is breaking even financially, but not showing a profit. In other words, if the mix of all the agents is in balance, there is an opportunity for a positive return from this investment. If the return is at its maximum level, the value of the overall property is going to be enhanced. In the example of the development process of real estate, there must be enough money to cover the actual costs of construction. This will apply to the equity invested as well as the funds borrowed to facilitate the construction. Also included is a return for the risks of development, type of development, prevailing market conditions, and the time it takes to complete the development. Continuing with the development example, one must possess the assets required to adequately manage the construction process. This may include the coordination of the process as well as overall management of the development. This project is subject to the direction and coordination of the development's general manager. This management process extends through the managers to the foreman and the various subcontractors to keep the development progressing on the prescribed schedules. The coordination process can become very complex when planning the work of several groups at the same time in the same space. This leads us to the next agent of production, adequate labor. As you can imagine, is essential to the development process. This component includes all of the direct and indirect labor costs for construction and subsequent sale of the development. The direct costs are tied to the wages of the labor force required for construction and the material costs required for the development. Indirect costs are also tied to the construction process and include the costs of various permits required by the community, financing the costs of the construction, marketing the development during the upon completion of the construction, real estate taxes, and insurance not covered by the labor segment. Additional costs of selling the individual parcels of the development. These are all grouped into the indirect costs of production. The last agent to be satisfied is the agent of the land. This agent is also factored into any entrepreneurial profit derived from completion of the development. That profit can be said to increase the land value when all of the other components of production are adequately covered for the construction of the development. The profit from the sale of the several parcels will be an indication of the proper mix of the first three agents as applied to the overall process. The profit will be earned as the parcels are sold and may be subject to a certain discount if there is a prolonged marketing time necessary to sell out the development. Time is money, and it can have an effect on the profit derived from the project if the development is not sold out within the anticipated time frame. Extended market times will diminish the level of entrepreneurial incentive that was anticipated at the onset of the development process. The principle of the 4 agents of production is related to the following principles: balance, contribution, opportunity cost, surplus productivity. End of page.